Yes, there's a red light.
Bloopers. You decapitated Deadpool. It's okay, he regenerates.
He's fine.
Hello, Hobby Nation. Good morning, and we're off to a good start. Raz is trying to salvage her collectible 6-scale Deadpool figure. Anyway, good morning. We're here today on this very special episode. We're coming to the end of the year, starting the new year. We've got some giveaways. We've got amazing things to discuss.
2016 sucks.
And 2017 will be awesome. Well, there were some awesome moments in 2016.
Like what?
Movies.
Like what?
Oh no, Deadpool.
Okay.
Deadpool.
Yeah, we got some good movies. What? Okay, go ahead.
Deadpool.
I'm just asking like what for you. I'm not saying there aren't any good movies.
Oh.
I'm just asking.
Anyway, before we get into stuff, I just want to mention that as we promised, if you watched some of our videos yesterday, we're giving away stuff. We're giving away this beautiful Marvel Legends, this Spider-Girl from the Space Venom bath, and we're giving away a Deadpool. You see this
Not
pretty
this one.
thing?
That's mine.
That's hers.
That's just to see what's in the
There's
box.
a little box over here that has the same thing, so you're getting it with the packaging. However,
Sort of the same thing. He's special though.
He has been blessed.
stop petting it.
That's what my mom always said.
The raffle question, which we will repeat again at the end of the show, but to start with, the raffle question to win this little bad baby is: what is the most successful movie based on a game and success in terms of box office revenue? Answer that and you get this for free. The first person to answer that question will get this for free. Post your answer in our
On the video thread.
on the video thread, and it will, and obviously you will win it if you're the first person. Now with Deadpool, it's a little different. As usual on Hobby Nation, we ask you to like and share our videos, and what will happen is all those who like and share our videos
And comment
as
once
well.
you're done, yeah.
Very important to comment. Give us your views. We need your views. We will put you in a raffle, and this time this raffle is going to work. Unlike the whale raffle, which totally tanked. But once you post, comment, and share, we will put you into a raffle, and the winner will receive this. And Happy New Year. Second of all, I would like to introduce Nabil, William, and most of all, Raz from Raz Reviews. And you can catch her on her page, Raz Reviews. She'll be reviewing Rogue One.
It's out.
Oh, it's out?
This morning.
This
morning, yeah.
Catch Rogue One on Raz Reviews on Facebook,
Out now.
YouTube, or whatever. Best reviewer in town, possibly region. I keep saying that. And coincidentally, since we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed Fanatics. Now, this is not my domain. But before we get into Assassin's Creed, we want to talk about gaming in general, or migrating games into movies. I want to know you guys' thoughts about what were some of the best and some of the worst games that made it into movies, and some of the best movies and worst movies that made it into games. So
Mortal Kombat!
Mortal Kombat is a masterpiece.
Oh, more?
It's the first one. Only the first one is fantastic.
It was a box office success at the time. I remember watching
Only
it.
the first one is fantastic.
So is it worse in terms of what?
No, it's not. It's not worse. It's best.
It's the best.
I
Oh,
was
it's the
celebrating.
best.
I sang the song.
Yeah.
It was a celebration. It was a celebration.
So let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, Raz. So your
well-
best films,
Yeah.
to,
That came
best
up-
games to films, and films to games.
Well,
No, first we do the games.
yeah, the game.
Games
the
to
game.
film.
So like, arguably, Mortal Kombat is at least the most popular because Mortal Kombat, the film, did not take itself seriously. It kind of engulfed the campiness of the game, the craziness. It knew it was a crazy, silly video game movie. It didn't care, and it went for it, you know. And it was super nuts. In a good way.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes something that when you do something, you have to understand the source material and not try to, I'm gonna take this game and I'm gonna make it into a film. Yeah. Sometimes these things don't translate, you know, when you try to turn it, like for example, the Mario Brothers film. The reason that went to crap is because they took that film and they tried to go They tried to take it somewhere else. They tried to make it like literally have action in it. They tried to introduce weird creatures in it. Like forget that. Take the essence and the feel of the movie. And when you're playing Assassin's Creed, it's like same feeling you got when you're watching a movie. You're like awesome popcorn. So it worked.
I do not remember those sound effects.
This was inside your head.
I'll tell you what I was excited about. I think some of the things that I always look for, I mean, I'm not a gamer, but something that really attracted me to Mortal Kombat is I felt that the game was alive in terms of effects and in terms of motions and the characters.
Well, the fights were good.
Yeah.
And the fights were good.
And the fights were really good. It felt like the game. And I think sometimes when you lose that in a movie that takes a game and migrates it to a movie, I think that's when you start.
Now, again, you have to stress that Mortal Kombat is not like the epitome of cinema, you know, Oscar-nominated, starring thespians, discovering, you know, it's just a silly
I like how you're trying to cover your ass that you're a filmmaker.
Because I can't come here and be like, oh, Mortal Kombat, like, no, it's just a fun video game movie. It took the spirit of the video game, because Mortal Kombat game also is a little crazy. It's not a normal game, like, you know, it's not Uncharted, you know, it's like, ooh, no, it's, what? And the film was the same thing. So that's why I think it's so far the best one. What they're trying to do now in modern, I don't think, this is a question to you guys, do you think that a movie like Mortal Kombat would be successful if it came out today?
Unfortunately, no.
I'm the because people now take these things seriously. Imagine like a weird like Zelda movie where it's like pink and weird. Like, imagine and people watching be like, that's fun.
Listen, I think the problem is, it's like you said at the beginning, it didn't take itself seriously, right? Today the problem is the minute they decide to do a movie, they set the budget first, right? And they set what they're gonna do with it in terms of not the story. How much money they're gonna spend, how big and how massive,
and how it can be a franchise.
Right. And how they can utilize merchandise. It's a whole business.
So there's a whole bunch of factors and variables that are playing that have nothing to do with the original franchise.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right? Which is the exact problem of what happened with Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Yes.
That is exactly what happened, because they had this franchise that was hugely popular. After Super Mario Bros. 3, the game came out, right? And the idea got pitched to Nintendo. There's a whole story behind it. The idea got pitched to Nintendo, and then they told them, we want to do something massive with this franchise that you have, and you're gonna make a lot of money. Right? So then Nintendo said, okay, well, you know, we're signing up, and then they left creative freedom with the movie studios. And then there was a disaster story on its own, and that's what happened.
Okay, so but then I'm guessing that Super Mario Brothers is definitely one of the worst on the list.
I mean, you have your cherry picks of worst. Like, there's so many bad ones.
But well, let's focus on the good ones. What, in your opinion, Nabil, is another good one? Mortal Kombat, I agree, is one of those.
I would say the Tomb Raider movies weren't bad.
Correct. The first one. The second one was kind of
Resident Evil, maybe.
Resident Evil is good.
The first one.
The first couple of Resident, there's some hit and misses with that particular franchise, but it's pretty fun, and it's one that I follow. For me, you know, sometimes people take these things and they get overly critical. So like for me, one of my personal favorites is The Legend of Chun-Li. Because I really, like, so for me, I really enjoyed it. And I like the cliffhanger where, hey, you know, there's this guy named Ryu and I want to check him out. And then, you know, and then so you get, like you said, like you get this fan base, you know, sometimes that kind of take these things, you know, a little bit too seriously than what you want them to be. So you can't expect Street Fighter or any video game film to be Legends of the Fall. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So you got people walking in there like, you know, like Meryl Streep. This should make the best M. Bison that there is. You know what I'm saying? I would love that.
I would watch that shit out of that.
I would pay to see that.
And I bet you she'd get an Oscar nomination.
So you know, again, so these are the things
happened
that,
so far for every movie.
So these are the things that people also. There are certain franchises that you can take and that you can cross over and that go well. And so you know, so for me, you got things like Street Fighter, you got things like Hitman. You know what I'm saying? You know the Hitman movie.
I hate the Hitman.
You know, you hated that movie. So you know, so again,
it did tank.
It was 50-50.
It was
There was two of them.
Yes.
I
They
like
made 2 of them.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
a movie that tanked. That's actually based on multiple games that I kind of liked was Pixel.
I did too. High five me. You tasty little treat you.
Thank
Let
you.
me
I'm a tasty little treat.
let me break something down to you, right? And I'm gonna look right in this camera. Right? I'm gonna look right in this camera. And
always
again,
doing it.
And here's my thing. I don't wanna be I'm not trying to be the ugly American or anything like that, because again, people did it in the States too. But for me, growing up as a kid in the 80s, in terms of the arcade culture and everything like that, so for me, that was something that grabbed me. You guys maybe you didn't grow up using words like tubular or radical or whatever, but this was a part of the culture when dudes would stand around that machine. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be playing
the Holy Grail.
or whatever.
You stack
And then-
coins. Done.
Stack
You know what I'm
coins.
saying? Yeah, you got coins stacked up. The whole hood is behind
Stop
you.
looking at Raz. She was alive when arcades were.
Yeah.
Well,
I played
okay.
arcade. Dude, I'm from a third world country. So things that were for you in the 80s were for us in 2001, 2002.
Exactly.
So, same.
Okay. But that's not the same.
However, a good Pixel movie came out. It's set of Pixel movie. It was called Wreck-It Ralph. Pixel movie is a crap film. It plays on your nostalgia, okay, and that's it. It's nostalgia,
endearing.
massage.
You know
That's
what
a
I
terrible
like?
story. What's his name? Mal Blort, cop guy is president. This is
But
not
here's the thing, no, but
Don't
again,
go
wait,
away.
let me do
movie
this.
was beautiful.
Let me do something. Let me do something.
on
Let me
now,
hold
what
up. Let
about
me
story?
hold up. Wait a minute.
What about
Wait,
characters?
Time out.
wait,
Time out.
Let me do
Time out.
something. Let me hit you with a little bit of magic. Right, that's the magic. So let me hit you. Right. So now, what you have Wreck-It Ralph, but the thing about it is that the other element into that is Adam Sandler. So
That's the problem.
So Adam
That's an
Sandler.
element.
Adam
That's a
Sandler.
disease.
Adam Sandler. Again, I grew up with Adam Sandler from Masterpiece. I bought his comedy albums, and I understand when you get to Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell or Vince Vaughn or these kinds of guys, that's kind of a niche kind of sense of humor. Again,
Dude, I love Adam Sandler earlier stuff. Cool. Recent years, come on, man. He's
Pixels was dope.
phoning.
All right, so
he's
that's the-
phoning it.
I'm gonna hit the
Let's
pause
go
button.
fainted
Pixels was
from
dope.
your lack of rationale. Like he fainted. Like, what? Adam Sandler? Oh my god.
Pixels was dope. Handle that magic.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut in here.
Okay.
Because we need to now move on to
The opposite.
the opposite side. Were we talking about the? It feels like we were talking about the worst the whole
No,
time.
so yeah, no, because unfortunately, most of the movies that came from games were bad.
Yeah.
Most of them.
What are the top 10 worst? Let's put it that way. What are the top 10 worst?
Okay,
and
so
let's then
each
we'll move
one,
on to that.
say
Oh my
one, and then we
gosh.
move on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just one.
Mario Brothers for sure.
Okay.
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 Okay. So
That's
next.
mine.
So next, yours.
You.
The worst that I have seen of a game that I know of, I think would have to be. I need a minute because there are quite a few.
I'll
Have
go.
you seen the Mario
I'll do.
Brothers?
Yes, I have. As a
You
child,
can't
oddly
even-
enough, as a
you
kid,
know,
I
it's
did
one of
like
those
it.
Movies you can't even watch. It's not even so bad. It's good. Like you can. You just watch it and feel sad. Like there's no like it's silly. No, it's like
This is
why?
depressing.
Why?
Why?
What did you do to
No,
Mario?
Wait.
I'll do you. Okay.
Wait. Van Damme's 3.
Oh my God.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, that's definitely-
that speech. He gives
Wait a minute.
like a
Hold on.
like an
Hold on,
Independence Day speech.
wait. Does anybody have a hand sanitizer? I'll wash my hands after you said that because it was a piece of. Yeah, I'm not gonna curse. It's a family show. I just heard the toilet bowl flush. So if you were on the set, I would pull a Friday. Nobody come on set for another 30, 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because it was horrible.
Yeah,
It
that
What was
horrible.
that movie that had? I think was it Preacher or is another? No, Preacher's not based on a game.
No.
There was one that had. Sorry, that's our time. There was a game that had Mark Wahlberg or one of those
Max Payne.
Max Payne.
Oh.
Wasn't that based on a game?
Yeah, it is.
I put
Oh, that was
that
terrible.
movie.
Also,
So that
was
to
Mark
me-
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Was Mark
was
Wahlberg?
Mark-
He walks in on his family. Oh,
Yeah.
That
No,
was-
because you know why?
I
Because
couldn't finish
They
that.
did not do the game.
yeah, it's not. They called it Max Payne just to
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the story.
It
nothing.
had-
And I think
I want to ask you guys because I'm a big World of Warcraft fan. I play Warcraft for the Horde. My question is, you guys, who plays World of Warcraft and who's seen the game and what did you, the movie and what did you guys think
I don't
about
think
it?
anyone isn't familiar with World of Warcraft, but I've never played it.
Okay.
I just watched the movie. It was okay. It was unmemorable. It didn't, even for me, it didn't feel like it carried the potential of the game. Because when you think of these world games, you feel, wow, I'm gonna go real deep into possibilities here. And I felt
Because I find Warcraft very interesting, and I'll say why.
I think it sold short, but I think it was still an okay movie. It wasn't bad.
The movie wasn't bad, but the problem is they tried to squeeze so much of that universe that was built over a decade or more, right? Into that one movie.
This was even like, it was Warcraft like 1.
Really old. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for what they tried to do. And I think it came out pretty well. I mean, you go in.
What did you think?
I think you go with the crawl, walk, run, because in terms of the history of Warcraft, the way that I saw it going down.
Have you played Warcraft?
Yeah. So imagine a video game version to movies, but like Lord of the Rings. So what happens is if you take the Lord of the Rings series, I read the books as a kid, but if you take the series, what it did was that it gave you breathing room. So it allowed an entire story to develop. And I think that what Warcraft was doing, to your point, it was trying to take a lot of things in order to grab people in early, as opposed to saying, okay, let me take the Lord of the Rings approach and then kind of and set you up and then walk you through it. So, because a lot of people didn't read the Lord of the Rings books, but however, they made the films where it could take the audience.
But I always like to separate books and comics and these older traditional medias, even theater, from these migrations into movies.
Yeah, because
games
they don't have the kind of narrative that you have in a book that you can actually, that would be the backbone of your film.
No, but what I'm saying is that, but if you have like a decade or more of history or development, say something even like Final Fantasy, right? If they were ever to do it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case would be. So you would, like I said, you would have to still take those stories, and you couldn't just condense all that history.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, in one shot. That's not something that's easy to do.
So you think World of Warcraft would have been better if it was a little spread out and just sort of?
I think, with the Lord of the Rings, when they signed up, they signed up for the trilogy.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's true.
Right? With World of Warcraft, it's like,
true.
Let's see how it goes.
It's very good.
And I think the reason why there's a lot of that in studios is because games have a history of tanking.
But this movie didn't tank, by the way.
No, it did well.
It actually did well abroad, outside of the States.
Which is
we will probably get a sequel for Warcraft.
And by the way, that's a new phenomena in the millennium that didn't exist before, that determines whether or not a franchise is going to be successful or not. Before, they weren't really focusing on international box office. Now they do.
Now they do.
So that's +1 for Warcraft. But in general, I do want to ask, why do
I feel like Warcraft actually is a little bit underrated. I think it's better than people give it credit for because it's a film. Like,
but even as a film, it was okay.
The
graphics were amazing.
Duratan was a really interesting character, and I loved watching him in the movie. The biggest problem I think in Warcraft, and I think all of these little details,
I agree with you.
except for that kid, the apprentice.
The
apprentice. It was terrible casting. He was a terrible actor. I think if that character was stronger, the whole film, because he's the film.
He kind of centralizes the film.
He centralizes the film a lot, and the problem is nobody connected with him, like they did with Duratan. But Duratan is not. Yeah, he's like the opposite of him, but he's not as much of a main as this little kid was. And I think like he could have been, if this was a different cast. Imagine like someone else in there. Imagine like what's his name? You know the guy. Help me. The guy from 500 Days of Summer. What's his name?
Yes, I like him very much, and I forgot his name.
The Rock from the Sun.
Yeah. What's his name? It's
Google search.
It's 2 in the morning. I'm lagging, Logan.
He has good movies.
He's beautiful actor. Imagine him for example.
No, but here's my thing. But again, like I said, I support your point in that. You know, to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, would you agree with me? Like, if they would have kind of. Like take the Lord of the Rings approach, kind of again, not too extended, but like but.
Oh, you're talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Someone like that, exactly in that role. Imagine that. I think the film would have been like twice as successful. But yeah, I get it. There's not enough setup. There's not enough setup.
Because this is a lore. This is a culture. It's
Yeah.
not. You
Yeah, but-
can't. It's not like a. So, for example, you know how you get certain one-offs in video games or you know what I'm saying, whatever. So that when something has a lore behind it. So, for example, like you could take a film, which I hope they make, Metroid, for example, and you could take a Metroid film, and because it kind of has like an aliens meets Iron
I
Man
think we're
kind
there
of
in
thing
technology.
to it. Yeah, and so
to make it work.
and so you could take that one Metroid film and say, okay, let's see how it goes. Because what's most popular about Metroid is the first 1 or 2 video games,
Yeah.
so to speak, and then you keep it there. But when you have something that has a lore to it,
Yeah.
you can't just.
Okay, I have to ask
I
this
get it.
question.
Oh, I got another bad one.
Yeah.
Okay. I got another bad one.
Well, say what your bad one is because I have a general question. Doom.
Oh my God! That was, but you know, I
Doom
respect
did
Doom because at least
Doom
they
sucked.
tried something different. Was it a good idea? Hell no! But at least it was an idea.
Capta.
Like there was someone sitting in a meeting room and they're like, "What if, what if we do FPS movie?" And the guy was like,
You know what?
think- he was probably high. But it's like,
I was
about,
gonna
like,
say that.
you know, but at least, you know, I always appreciate attempts at new things,
Yeah.
but that didn't
But
work.
you know, all these movies are making a new video game to movie more difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you have some guy, because the guys who write the checks
Yeah.
go and say like, give me the history. This tank.
Okay.
What's your general question?
Okay, my general question is before we move on to games
Assassin's Creed.
that kind of moved
Oh.
into
No, movies
into-
that make games.
movies that made games.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to happen to have more success for games to migrate successfully into movies? Because this trend is going to end at some point. Like we see with comic books in
I
the
know
millennia
exactly.
since Marvel, they figured out a formula that keeps it successful.
I'll tell you what the formula for Marvel is, and it would work.
For games,
For
are you
games.
sure? Because comics are a
Yes.
different animal.
Yes. It's called the spirit. The thing that you need to bring into a film when you bring it from another medium is bring the spirit, the feel, and the atmosphere of that particular
But I would
film.
argue that because there are a lot of movies that carry the spirit, or spirit's a very vague question.
No, it's not. Give me an example and I'll tell you how. Mortal Kombat was an example of the spirit. Now, you watch Mortal Kombat movie. Is it the story of the game?
No.
What the hell does it have to? Nothing. It's
No, but
just
then-
the spirit, the music, the
It's not that.
atmosphere.
Comic books are a little bit more complex. What I would say is that when you look at these things, what you need to do is you need to choose video games that have a better storyline that could translate into
Into a
a
movie.
general audience medium.
Yeah, but how do you
I'm
figure that
saying-
out?
So,
We're saying
so
that Mortal
not
Kombat
every
is the
section.
best one,
No, no.
even though it doesn't. When you look at it as an entity,
No, but
it does not have a translatable story.
I'm talking about in terms of the taste of a generation. So, for example,
Okay.
if you're looking at people now and what gaming has done and how advanced it is, so now if I want to make a film, maybe I'm looking at Metal Gear or Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? And so these
can
are
translate well.
these are storylines that you can take that will translate into more of a general
General
kind
You know,
of
you know what I
Yeah.
feel? I feel that games being thrown into movies is actually not the right formula in general, with the exception of what you're saying, like something with a really compelling story. Because I feel games
Well,
are so long and so
That is true.
and you pay them over several days, and it feels like it's episodic. I feel they should be Netflix or
We
TV.
have a huge 100%. I agree with you. I think the best thing to do for this kind of material is to actually turn it into a series, not a film. I think a film is too small.
Yeah.
But the problem
It
is,
could be an intro.
But the problem
Like you could have-
is when you want to make films like Call of Duty, you need a budget, you need money,
Yeah.
and you can't afford. Not
Why?
all series are Game of
But
Thrones.
why?
No, but this
And
is
I think Call of
but-
Duty
but-
would be
but what
successful
I'm-
off the
No,
Furious
but this is
stuff
what
like
I'm trying to
Marvel.
say. Here's the thing. This is what I'm trying to say is that the studios do put money behind these things, right?
But it wouldn't be enough for a series, though.
What I'm saying is this. So, for example, if you took Call of Duty or Rainbow Six or something like that, I'm serious. Again, you don't do Rainbow Six?
No,
I'm
he's
just-
like duty.
Okay.
We're acting drunk now.
Okay. So
Duty.
so like I said, so if you took these kinds of things, so Call of Duty is a film that you could take one specific game, one specific mission as a one-off to grab, you know what I'm saying, and again, to grab people.
Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well, we have. Well, arguably, Assassin's Creed is a very compelling. Has
Yes.
multiple stories.
But it's a compelling. But
Yeah. But however, they made the film now,
yeah.
and is it out here yet?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I know some people who have
Since
watched
Tuesday,
it.
yeah.
Besides the
It's-
reviews being
Yeah, it's
questioned.
what is it sitting at a what at a
13.
18% now?
18?
18. Whoa, woohoo! And again, the story that is actually in the film is not the storyline in any of the games.
Okay,
It's completely
I'm gonna get into
different.
Assassin's Creed in a bit.
Yeah.
But what
So
I
let's
think
do the movies.
what movies have made it successfully into games and movies that haven't?
I actually
there
don't
are a
know
lot.
much, actually, I actually don't know. So
Okay.
Really,
okay.
there are quite a
Yeah.
few.
No,
I think.
there's a
know.
lot, but some good examples
Sorry,
are.
man.
No, I'll tell you.
yeah,
Good
no,
examples,
okay, yeah.
Usually, game tie-ins are bad.
Yeah.
You guys remember Lion King?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the best
Hold
one.
on, which version?
I love that game.
Aladdin, Super Nintendo.
hold
No.
on. Yeah,
Lion King.
exactly.
Lion
Which
King.
version?
Well, Lion King is
Which
pretty
version?
awesome.
The Saga one.
The
Sega
Sega?
one, the Sega one.
No.
The one where he's like, the one with like, he jumps on the thingies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And it's like,
that was awesome.
You know, did you play the Super Nintendo one?
No, I never had a Super
I like all
Nintendo.
these
My
sound
parents.
effects.
I'm from our parents. They gave me one console for 20 years. No, really. I had the Sega. No, I had the Sega.
Right.
Okay, and then after the Sega, they got me a PS1 and they stopped.
Okay.
I swear to God, that was the last thing. I only got like an Xbox and a PS4 after I graduated college. Like, that's it. I swear. Like, I'm not allowed. I played at my friend's house. It's very sad.
William, what do you think?
Our parents. Love you, mom.
What is it?
Real quick, William.
A video game.
That has migrated successfully. A movie that has migrated successfully to
into
there.
a video.
There are lots of them that have tanked. But what do you think is gonna? Because there's a lot of hope for the Spider-Man Homecoming one. But
Yes.
what do you think is a movie that did well as a game?
A movie that did well as a game. It's a little bit older, and like I said, it's a little bit older. And for me, it worked, and maybe for not a lot of people. But like on Nintendo, I liked it mimicked Aliens, but it wasn't Aliens. I think it was called Radius or something.
Alien Breed.
Yeah, Alien Breed. Like
yeah.
they took they kind of took the name and they, you know what I'm saying, they didn't change it, but it had the same to her thing, the spirit. So it had the same feel, you know, like from the Aliens films, you know, again translated over.
You know what? You know what I'm getting here. I'm feeling like there's a difference. The reason why maybe movies don't work well as games is because when you're sitting as a gamer in game mode, their expectations are different. You're in control. There's so much that you want to do. The game design itself, the development, the structure, besides the story, all of it technically also has to work well.
Right.
Besides graphics, if it's not intriguing for a gamer, if it's not
really tough.
challenging,
It's really tough.
if it's not challenging, it doesn't matter.
But
what it's
even
like.
for the audience, you have to have a story. Like for me,
Yeah,
what
but when you watch a movie,
yeah.
you're sitting there expecting to grasp information. You don't control it. Games are all about control.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So I can see how these two words collide. Because when you take comics,
Yeah.
comics, I mean, yes, they change in movies, but it's basically a storyboard.
It's the same way of. It's a similar way of ingesting the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah.
Yes, you're viewing the content in books and comics at
And your
own
imagination
pace.
plays a role as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
But still, there's a sense of receiving content.
Yeah.
In games, it's
Yeah.
about the challenge.
That's true.
It is about receiving the content. About receiving the
But
story.
you take the
But-
content, you do something with it.
Yeah.
So there's an
But
extra
it's
step.
also-
There's
that's missing.
interactivity
But that's-
which is missing in movies.
that's what I'm trying to say
So
for
if
the-
the movie doesn't do that in the game, then it doesn't matter. What
No,
the
but that's
movie
what I'm trying to say for the game, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. You need to go saga. Because for me, what am I thirsting for as a film? Legend of Zelda. So you take that. There's enough saga. There's enough strife.
Oh, yeah, I
there's
believe
enough,
you.
There's enough
believe
history in it. And
Zelda would be
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying? So if you took Zelda and you did it, you know, again, you did it right. You spaced it out. The history of Hyrule and all these things and everything else. It, like I said, it could.
Next
it
one
could-
of the next Star Wars, next everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know,
Very
I think The Legend of Zelda will work more as a series.
Correct. Yeah. Now that you have Netflix and these other
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
because
story.
No, because like to her point, there's so much lore. Because
Yeah.
what
You can't
TV
squeeze
does,
it in.
what TV does is TV gives you the opportunity to tell a story.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
And so for
complex
it gives
You know what I would think be
Yeah.
really interesting to sort of engage gamers is when TV shows, because of social media now, to inject some of that control or some of that interactivity. I think it would be interesting if they came up with a TV show based on a game that invited viewers to participate somehow.
Kind of like
the
a
views-
Telltale's kind of situation.
Maybe.
There's a good example, by the
Maybe.
way, of successful
I
games.
love Telltale.
Have you played Telltale?
I played.
No.
No?
The Walking Dead Telltale.
It's amazing.
It's 10,000 times better than the series.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
So I guess that's another successful
Oh
example.
my
then.
gosh! Oh my gosh! But that's from comics. It takes directly from the comics
Yeah.
into the even
Oh,
the drawing and the
I-
style.
I'm-
Beautiful.
I'm-
Season 3 is coming out. Very excited. I love it.
We're
And Wolf
binging.
Among Us. Oh God, that's comic book to game.
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us. Have you played it? Have you played any of it?
No, I haven't,
You have
honestly.
to. You have to. As a comic book reader and a sort of gamer, this is the world for you.
Okay, Wolf Among Us is
You're
gonna
gonna
happen.
lose your crap. It's Fables.
Yes,
It's-
I love Fables.
It's a prequel
Yes.
to Fables.
Really?
Shoot.
Yes, it's a prequel to Fables.
Because
Bixby-
the wolf-
it-
because
it
the wolf
stars
investigated.
It's Bixby Wolf.
Yeah.
Before
in
Fables.
his wolf form.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not in his wolf form.
No, as
It's
a
when they
detective.
first
When they first came to the
when they
Mondays.
First came,
Okay.
when it's not about them coming there. It's about when they were early on there. It's before his relationship with Snow White started.
It was a very successful comic
It's a
book series.
beautiful game.
Let's talk off camera.
You have to watch.
Well, then
You
maybe
have-
we
you
can
have
do.
to play it.
We'll do another segment
So
about it.
a good game that came from a movie, in my opinion, is Super Star Wars on the
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Ah.
What?
Okay, yeah.
They were really good.
Yes.
Super Star Wars
Aladdin.
on the Super Nintendo.
Aladdin.
Or
for
just
me.
Star Wars, like Battlefront. Like for me, I like Battlefront and some of the other games.
No, because
too.
I'm
There was
talking
the
about
Old
Super Star
Republic
Wars.
as well. I like.
Because it's
Guys,
mimicking
question.
What was the one with Star Killer? That was
the
a
Old
good one.
Republic.
Old Republic. That was
I
a
want to
really good
ask
one.
this question because this not only came from computer games, it came from an actual board game.
Clue?
Battleship.
Battleship.
Battle.
I wanted to rip the skin out of my chest.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
What do you guys
know that
think?
it's a piece of turd.
I wanted to punch. Was Rihanna in that movie?
Rihanna,
Was that-
yeah, she
I wanted
was,
to
yeah,
just
that was
punch her.
terrible.
Who
Bad.
casted her?
Yeah.
She should have never been in that
I'm
movie.
gonna tell you something right now. Here's the thing. People like to beat up bad films. This is my caveat. But there's a masterpiece called The Room. And I didn't hit her. I didn't hit her.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
On that, I think let's leave it on that high point and move on to
I would
Assassin's
totally do an
Creed.
episode
Just-
on old
we
bad
just
movies. It's
mentioned
so good.
The worst,
Yes.
The-
worst
did you see the
video
birds?
game to come out.
The
We just hit
Yeah.
since we're movies to video games.
Yes.
The
The
worst video game to come out of a movie and almost tanked the video game industry. E.T.
I
How
don't know
sad.
about that.
E.T.
Again, let the old people.
Stop it! Stop it!
Hold on.
Stop trying to be everybody's grandpa.
Oh, they did.
How old are you?
Pull me up 39.
39. He's a year older than me, and him.
And how old are you? You're
39.
38.
No,
You're 39.
39.
You're 39.
38.
That's not true.
1977.
I'm 31. It's okay.
We're
It's
all
alright.
within the same decade.
We're in the same
You guys
number.
look so
We have
young.
the same second number.
You guys look so young.
Whatever, William. I'm done with
I
your
am young
wisdom
at
tooth.
heart, okay?
Okay.
I'm done with the wisdom tooth. Let's move on to Assassin's Creed. The reason why we're here at Geek Nation doing this exclusive special is to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Before we get into these beautiful collectibles,
talk
by
about
the
the
way,
game.
I just want to say Raz has done us the honor of bringing some of her own collectibles here.
I
for
don't
the
have
first time. And this, what?
And it's gone.
And it's gone.
And it's ruined.
I want you to talk about it later,
I
but
will.
I just want to show this off to everyone because I think it's freaking
I'll show you how
awesome.
it works, because it actually works.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But now, guys, I'm roughly familiar with Assassin's Creed. I played one of the versions where he was, I think, Italian or something
That's the
at some
best
point.
one.
And I heard there are many different characters.
yeah.
Yes.
First of all, for those guys who are going to go watch the movie, who are not familiar with the game, what do they need to know about the Assassin's Creed story and game? And what should you really, really expect as a fan going into this movie that if it's not in the movie, it's dead to you?
I have an alternative to that. I will tell you, if it's in the movie, it's a problem.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
the opposite.
So we'll talk
But
about
we'll
both.
talk about
But
that,
let's
yeah.
talk about the Assassin's Creed story. How did it start? Why Assassin's Creed? Why is it so popular? What is this game? What's going on?
You want the Cliff Notes version?
Whatever you want, guys.
Okay. See,
This is an Assassin's Creed
I
special.
can give you like the Raz reviews recap.
okay.
Real quick.
Okay, so I'll say what I know about the franchise,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can build on that.
Yeah.
Basically, it's telling you the story of an older civilization,
Okay.
right? I would quote unquote gods,
Okay.
right? And you have humans,
Ah.
right? And these gods are facing a catastrophe, right? With a solar flare.
Wow, you went really like.
Yeah.
Make it stop.
Origin.
That's not how you tell people what Assassin's Creed is.
But
Because you're
Origin.
like, what gods? And they start playing the game like, this guy's not talking, right? And then,
Yeah, I mean, because when I was playing Assassin's Creed, I was like, oh, I
this
guess.
is something you discover. This is the lore.
Yes, yeah.
No. What's the game? The game is literally you follow a man who can access the DNA of his ancestors and thus relive their lives in the past. And they use him to find things and to find relics that exist in the past. That's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But what is the purpose of those relics?
But that's what I'm thinking about.
What's
The
your
purpose of this relic is a mystery spoiler alert!
Okay.
If someone hasn't played the first Assassin's Creed, you're spoiling it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but that's 10 years
Spoiler.
old.
Spoiler alert!
Doesn't
After
matter.
the
It's a game.
spoiler.
It's a game. It's a game, not a movie. It's a game.
No, but there are a lot of people who haven't played.
It's a game.
Okay.
man. It's a game.
So,
It's a
okay,
game.
without the spoilers, right? Basically, you have an individual who's put into a machine, and the machine allows him to go back in time
Yes.
and relive certain parts of the lives of his ancestors.
And for some reason, they all are good at parkour.
For,
For
they're
an
assassins,
unexplained reason.
right?
It's just for the lols.
So he lives their lives, and the reason he relives their lives and specific periods of time is to gain access to their memories and where they hid certain relics, which are called the pieces of Eden. Okay, and then all these relics together give you access to a machine that was built by this ancient civilization, and the purpose of the machine is
Careful with spoiler.
is
To save the world. To save the world.
Save the world,
Yeah.
and there's a deeper meaning behind
Get
it.
the relic, save the
Oh,
world.
William, have you played Assassin's Creed, and do you like it? And what do you think is
What I-
cool about it that would
I
get
have
people
something for
excited?
Huh?
I will.
Okay.
We'll get to you, Raz.
I love it. I love
This-
it.
So for me, what I like about Assassin's Creed, without giving away the spoilers and things of that nature, I think that what a lot of people would like about Assassin's Creed will be like the action elements of it. Not necessarily, again, not necessarily just the fighting, but the fluidity of movement. You know, again, like for those of us who I forgot what you call it, but like you know, like the guys who do like the rooftop running and like the urban
Parkour.
Yeah, parkour.
Parkour.
So you know, so again, so like if you're like a parkour junkie or something like that or whatever,
Yeah.
so it's almost imagine for a lot of people, imagine taking the animated choreography of rooftop scenes from Batman the animated series and then putting it into a film.
Yeah.
So like you know, so in terms of Assassin's Creed, when we talk about spirit or feel, you know, to feel the old world, to feel the
Yeah.
fluidity and the freedom, like because his abilities are exciting and the freedom of those abilities.
I think
that's my point.
I
Yeah.
think what I really enjoyed when I played Assassin's Creed briefly. Okay.
I like the interview.
I don't know. It's a stupid timer. Anyway, what I liked about Assassin's Creed the first time I played, I didn't play the first one. I think I played the third one in 2008. Which one was the one that came out around?
That was the
2000?
first one.
Oh really?
No.
I thought Assassin's
Was
Creed
it
was
the
older.
Arabic guy?
It was.
I'll tell you.
It was either the Arabic or the Italian. I can't
The
remember.
first one, the Arabic.
He had a tan. He was definitely not the person
The Arab
cast.
guy.
That's why-
Millennial!
I'm not a gamer. I don't give a shit. Millennial. Yeah, I was born in
That was the first
1999.
one. That was the first one.
No, it wasn't. That was the first one.
Yes.
Okay, so cool. I was there for the first one. All right. So, oops. Sorry, Deadpool. Sorry to offend you.
He's just an attention
What I
whore.
really enjoyed about the game, and again, I wasn't used to these type of games. I enjoyed, like William was saying, going into the old world and feeling like you were walking around in an old city. I think it takes place in Venice initially.
Syria.
Oh,
Syria,
so
Syria,
many
Syria.
places.
Sorry.
No, that's Brotherhood.
Later on, I
Must be a
played
few
something
million.
that was in
The
Venice.
first one.
Which one was the one that was in Venice?
Second one.
It's the second one. That's Assassin's Creed 2. Then there's Brotherhood. Then there's a stop being an attention whore. And then it's a good thing it's a Deadpool, or else it would die.
Yeah, good thing you
He's died
regenerate.
multiple times.
So yeah, that I mean, Assassin's Creed in general for me has this depth. It's not only a game with an interesting story that is fantastical, but it does have historical relevance. The history of assassins comes in, and you're actually kind of learning something, you know, about the cultures and stuff. So I just thought that was kind of cool, and the gameplay is not so complex, especially for someone who isn't a gamer.
Yes.
And I felt the same way about Prince of Persia. Which we didn't mention. By the way, in terms
Oh,
of
yeah.
movies.
Oh, my
what did you guys think of that before we jump into it? Because Prince of Persia.
I don't want
No.
to talk about. It
Jack
makes me-
Gyllenhaal. No.
Yeah, thank you.
Why-
Thank you.
Persian.
Thank you.
Whitewash.
Thank you. Thank
Not
you.
Persian, and as someone who is partially Persian, I was offended.
Shame.
I didn't even
Shame.
go. I didn't even go see it.
I didn't see it either.
I was
even I who
was
played
living-
the third game, not even the second game, I was like, where is Prince of Persia?
I
Where
played
is
it on
it?
a 286, man.
Yep. Because you know what's dope? I was living in Afghanistan at the time, and they said, and I saw the trailer, and I'm like, wow, this dude looks like nobody who would have lived in the Persian Empire. Like absolutely, no.
Because it looks like somebody who
I mean-
reads about the
Yeah.
Persian.
Well, I mean, they played it off as he was some Roman slave that
come
was brought
on.
in. But why? I
Come
mean,
on.
why? Just because at that time, I'm sorry, we need to touch on ethnicity again. Feeling that a
Whitewash.
movie, yeah, whitewashing a movie, because at that time I think also again they were still stuck on we need.
What do you mean at that time? They're still doing it. What is
No,
it? What's
right?
the kings of
Yeah.
what is it?
Oh,
Kings of
God.
gods of
Yeah.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Sacrilege! Sacrilege!
And that happened what last year?
Not one person looked Egyptian except two of the gods,
It's still happening.
and one of them was
It's
partially.
still happening. It's still happening till this day.
Do you think it's
Doctor
happening?
Strange?
Yes, yes.
Okay? It's
But she was
still
kind of cool though, even though it's whitewashed, and I'm against it. But
Yes.
she was good.
Okay, no,
But
she still does with it.
They explained it. The
She was
They
out.
always
Celtic-
explain it, but they
Celtic.
shouldn't have to, dude.
They shouldn't have to.
They shouldn't have
What
to.
is the
Have
reason?
you seen my review?
Okay,
I touch upon it.
here's without knowing anything about the Assassin's Creed movie, which we will jump into right now in terms of
Owen
speculation.
Wilson. That's all I have to say to you. Owen Wilson. Karate Kid. Think of that. They can explain that too, you know? But they didn't have to. I want to talk about Assassin's Creed.
And I'm jumping into that.
tired.
The only thing I'm worried about, because I played, I guess, the first game, like you're saying,
Right.
and to me, that guy was either Italian or Arab. So I was like, oh, we're whitewashing again. Great actor, but why? So do you think that's a problem, or am I looking at something that
the
isn't?
movie, from what I know about the movie, they chose the second and third games as
Okay.
era.
Why? Why do you think they did that?
Because Altair was
What are you talking about?
Arab?
I mean,
We don't want him to be a
You know
hero.
about the movie, the Assassin's Creed movie?
yeah.
No, it's none of the eras. It's nothing from
No,
the
it's a
game.
15th century.
Really?
No, nothing. It's the Spanish
Whoa,
Inquisition.
we need to hear this.
And it's no. The character of Fassbender is a new character. It's not a character from the film. And the character
But
is,
isn't it happening between the second and Renaissance era?
it's not in the same it's just in the same like
No, it's the same time period.
no. They go. We don't go to the Spanish.
So it's almost like they're creating a new game and a new story and a new.
Yes.
new
In the same
No, I
set.
understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Are they okay? I gotta
It's
ask
not a
this.
character.
Are they trying to migrate the movie into a new game? Is that what's going on here?
Probably.
Maybe. I mean, this is Ubisoft
After all,
behind this as
yeah.
well. But no. But the thing is, I'm telling you, Assassin's Creed. They're doing like they've already said this in their marketing. They said that this film it's introducing a new character only film, and the character they travel back into is a new character in the film. It's both are being played by Fassbender in the game. It's a different person, but here it's the same person because money.
Right.
And they
So
go
it's
back
not
into
Desmond?
this. It's not Desmond.
Okay.
No, it's a new guy, new backstory, new why he's there.
So this gives them an
But
excuse
isn't
to
the
get away with a
15th
lot. Then.
Isn't the 15th century the same as the Renaissance area where Ezio is?
But that's Italy and this is Spain.
Do you think some of the older
it's
characters?
a different culture.
Do you think some of the older
Some
characters?
cameos?
Yeah.
Maybe.
How? Maybe in Abstergo, in the evil company. Maybe.
Okay. Now we're getting down to the serious.
But I want to talk about the game.
About the game or the movie?
About the game. Why is the game good?
Okay, tell me why the game is good, because then we need to jump into your speculation
Very
about the
cliff
movie.
notey, very cliff notey. It's two things by the game that we didn't really touch. We can't touch one, but not much. Number one, it's the story of the characters. Obviously, a good video game, especially a story-driven video game, is about the main character. And the thing that made Assassin's Creed really big was not the first one. People went back and played the first one. I was one of those people.
No, we played the first one.
I know you guys are cool. You were born in the 40s. It's fine.
Wisdom
it's
tooth, pull it out.
This guy, and it's the only guy who got 3 games and got a trilogy and got a full story, and you saw him from the moment he was born until, spoiler
Because of
alert,
PC.
until he died.
Because of PC.
What do you mean PC?
Because the first game came out in 2007, the second game came out in 2009, and by the time the third and fourth games came out, we've already full-fledged into the wars, the issues, etc. People don't want to talk about the Arabs versus the Saracens.
No, but then they moved on to different people. They had no, but then they moved on to different characters, but none of them got a three game story arc. It's because this guy had a beautiful story and people liked him. Most people, their favorite character is Ezio Auditore.
Yeah,
And it was
it's
also,
Altair.
yeah, that's cool. I like Altair as well, but what I like about him, like he's my second. But this guy, I loved seeing him while you're playing this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't experienced
They
this.
fleshed out the
I
story much
haven't
better.
experienced this element in any game in my life, and it's the fact that I watched a human being grow and mature
That's true.
and
In a
then
game.
become
That's
old
in a game.
and then be tortured by his past, yet
that's
be
true. I
comfortable.
think that's a beautiful thing.
It's
I agree.
unbelievable. I've never, and even it's so good. Even in the gameplay, his physicality changes with
true.
age.
Yeah.
In Revelation, he's slower. He's more, but he's smarter. Oh my God, you guys, it's awesome.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
And also, we have to give credit to the fact that the people working at Ubisoft who have made this game, they worked with researchers and historians, and they replicated all those areas back in the day in the first game. And the moment that Assassin's Creed was made for me is when I went to Jerusalem and I went to the mosque and I saw the actual like etchings of the mosque of Qubbat Sakhra, and I'm like, I'm there. You know, and it was,
I think
because I can't go there now. Sadly, like I can't go there.
Neither
I
can
can't. You know, but it was a beautiful moment. Like I stopped playing. This is when a game transcends. I stopped playing the game and I just sat there like, oh my God, I'm just gonna look at the walls. And I stopped playing for like a good 20 minutes.
I have to say, this is a really
Incredible.
interesting way how games can engage generations into actual culture. This never used to happen
Incredible.
before. There was a detach, and now something like Assassin's Creed, it's kind of, and I did feel what you were saying in the sense, it connects you to the world, which was very unique for a game to do. I think that this movie might be a case where the game might end up becoming more successful than the movie. I really do.
The game is already more.
This one, the new one,
Sorry.
the Spanish Inquisition one.
I don't think there's a Spanish. They haven't announced a Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, they're not gonna do a game for
I
it?
don't think so because the movie is not doing so well critically at the moment.
But you don't think they're going to launch a game for it?
If it was critically acclaimed, I'd be like, yeah, for sure. But now it
But
has
what
a
if it does well
negative.
financially? What if it does well financially?
We need to see that.
But I
We
think-
need to
I
see
think
that. If
the
it does well
Do you think
financially, for sure.
again this is another critics going crazy over something and may actually be good? Because I know some people I spoke to yesterday who
See, it
saw it,
depends.
who liked it, who said it was pretty engaging. But they're not gamers either.
I don't know. We'd have
See,
to
it
see.
depends
We'd have to
on who is reviewing the game
see.
right
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Because if they're gamers, because I see this all the time. If some gamers go into a movie expecting too much of the game in the movie,
Yeah.
right? And then even if the movie does, and you see that in the comic book movies as well, even if the movie is good, but it does not translate well from what he thinks would make a good transition, then it's bad. No, irrespective of what he's actually
Yeah, I
saying.
guess that happens a lot with
He's going
comic
in
book
with
fans
prejudice.
as well, and novel fans, and these saga fans.
I
All
mean,
right.
you have people who criticize the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay, just real quick then. From Raz going forward, do you think this movie is going to be successful, and do you think?
I'm gonna tell you what will happen, what would not make it successful in terms of storytelling. The thing that would make it unsuccessful is if because there's something that also went wrong in the game as well sometimes. Sometimes, like, the criticism of Assassin's Creed as a game is that the most beautiful part is what we talked about, is going back into the Assassin's Creed history and the world and being with the assassins. And a lot of times we went back into the real world, into the modern time, and we sometimes went there for too long. You're like, come on, I just want to get back. I just want to get back to Ezio, you know? So if I'm worried because it's Michael Fassbender and because it's, and from the trailers as well, and you know, the use of, no offense, Kanye West in the trailers makes me feel like they are a little too attached to modern day rather than going back. So if they spend too much time in modern day, I think the spirit I'm talking about will be lost. So if that happens, I think the film won't be good.
Well, we'll jump to William. Come back to you since William.
No.
Again, I think if they try to condense whatever the games have told us so far into one movie, it'll flop.
Yeah.
William.
Which, to her point, which is why I like the fact that it's its own story. Because what happens is, again, if you go with the games, then people will go and they'll nitpick it in accordance with, you know what I'm saying, in accordance with the games.
Because you have your expectations going in, and
So for example, so you have your own story. To Raz's point, as long as they don't spend too much time in the past, and you got Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender could play a coffee cup, and I'll watch it. Are you talking about? And I'm serious. Like, you could put up a movie trailer tomorrow. Coffee cup.
Apocalypse
so
for me.
you know, Michael Fassbender.
He carried the
You know what I'm saying?
apocalypse.
So, like I said, he could play a coffee cup, and I'll go. Him, Tom Hardy, those guys. Like I said, they could play a coffee cup in a trash can, and I'll go watch it. So
He's producing it as well, by the way.
Yes.
He's producing
And so
it as well.
again, so for Raz,
but did he play the game?
No.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know him.
No,
I would like to.
I just want to say this.
But I don't know.
But from Raz's
You would be
point,
sitting with us here if you
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't know you.
From Raz's point, as long as they don't spend too much time in it'll be fine. Because at least from what I saw from the trailers, because I haven't seen the film yet, when they showed the old world and showed them all running across the roof, it was beautiful. It's exactly what
I think there were moments in the trailer.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to watch it this week. I think most people will watch it, irrespective of the reviews.
Are you gonna watch it
Especially
with me?
since this year. Sure.
Lovingly. Thank you.
I mean, this year there's been a lot of controversy about Rotten Tomatoes anyway. I think Assassin's Creed did okay on IMDb. I'm not sure. Again, I wouldn't pay too much attention to reviews. I'd ask everyone to go see it because, again, it is historic to get the first.
It's now at a 6.7 on IMDb, which isn't great either.
Well, you know, again, it's a historic movie.
With my experience with IMDb, anything above 5 is okay.
IMDb is not. I find Rotten Tomatoes a little better because you know that Rotten Tomatoes is not actually a
person sitting down.
A person who goes like it's 18.
It's aggregated.
And it's not people who work at Rotten Tomato that do the reviews. It takes reviews, aggregates the
It's
reviews
like
that are in
Metacritic.
all publications.
all you review haters out there.
I love them like we're gonna shut down Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a thing.
Shut it down.
All right.
Like shut down the meter. Shut down time.
Okay, we need to go once again before we go into collectibles. One more time, we've got some stuff to give away. We've got this Marvel Legends Spider Girl from the Venom Space Venom bath. All you need to do is mention to us the first person who tells us what was the most.
The nagging. We
most-
have a nagging wife here.
Shut up, phone.
The most successful.
The raffle question. Not the most successful. Was it the most successful or
It was the most financially. What is the most
financially successful film that
based on a video game?
Based on a video game. What was the most financially successful film based on a video game?
Right.
Your first person to answer wins that gift.
Right.
Now, and again for Deadpool, like, share, comment. You get into a raffle, and this Deadpool 6-inch figure, not Raz's,
12 inch.
Not this
12 inch,
one.
sorry, 12 inch, sorry. Collector guy. Sorry.
Hey,
6
every inch counts.
That's a 6-inch. That's a 6-incher. That's a 12-incher. All right.
Oh yeah.
It's not that kind of show, Raz. All right.
a
Before we
family
jump
show.
into these beautiful collectors, Raz, tell us about that thing that you have.
This
that
thing?
No, that thing here.
Yes. Oh
The
yeah.
gauntlet.
Yeah. This is. So I don't usually collect a lot of things except things that I love too much. 'Cause I love too many things, but not too much. And Assassin's Creed is one of those things. So whenever I see anything that has Assassin's Creed on it, I get it. So I have like this. I got as a gift. I haven't played this game yet. By the way.
What is this figure? This figure
This
is
is
here,
the,
right?
yeah, this is the guy from
Syndicate.
the England. This is from Syndicate. I only played it at Comic Con, and then I never did. And this is Ezio from Revelation.
Is this Ezio?
Yeah,
It's the
this
same
is
thing.
like
Also,
But a half-
Revelations,
but a
when
torso.
when he's old and messed up, it's beautiful.
It's called a bust.
Yeah,
Bust.
yeah.
Again, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
collect statues,
Oh,
guys. I
yeah.
collect action figures. So any
Drawing
failure on
shit.
my part.
So that's So that's mine that I bought, and I also. So this is basically for all those of you who don't know, the way assassins assassinate is by having an expandable blade that comes out of their, what do you call this?
Retractable
Gauntlet, yeah, out of their
called
gauntlets,
the
and it has
retractable blade.
this is and this is it has like the signia of the creed of Assassin's Creed, and it's a really cool thing. It's not real. It's not a real weapon.
Assassin.
Well, hashashin, they call them in
Assassin,
Arabic,
yeah,
right?
hashashin.
In Arabic, I think they're called hashashin because they took weed or something before they went out there crazy.
Really?
Yes, that was the first game.
Ah, interesting. So this thing, yeah, it's basically
There you go. Smoke weed, you'll be a killer.
oh yeah, it's a retractable blade. Can you see, I don't know if people can see it.
Yeah,
over
you
there,
need to
but
hold it up because no
I
one
will.
will see what you're.
That's what she said. So you put this. It's usually much smoother.
Where
than
can
this.
you get this?
I got this at Comic Con. Again, most of the things I get,
No,
I get at
think
Comic
I
Con
think
because
Geek
I don't
Nation
go. I don't go.
And GK used to sell it. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
it's still
yeah.
there.
I think
Well,
GK
come to
has
Geek
it,
Nation,
yeah,
ask
yeah,
them
yeah.
and demand
This
it,
is
and they'll bring it for
and
you.
it's like that, and then like
then-
and the way they and then you get this thing,
Oh.
and then you kill someone, and
No, but
then-
actually, he puts it up and then it ejects.
Depends. Sometimes he's like he does.
Yeah.
He puts his hand on someone's shoulder
And then-
in the middle of a crowd,
I'm technically
and then
forgetting.
like
I love
and
that
then-
part of the game, man. I love that part.
You know
Yeah,
what?
and
you
then
know
he
what,
walks
Raz,
away.
You sold me on
Yeah, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
and then he walks
I
away,
love
and then he
that
walks
part.
away in the crowd, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person
yeah.
goes, "What the?" and dies.
Yeah, yeah.
It's badass.
I
And I'll tell you
love
what's
that.
badass, and I'll tell you why you should play it. In Assassin's Creed Brotherhood,
Oh, sorry.
something happens where where you start training other assassins
Right.
that you have. Okay, the more you train, the more you have like on reserve. And you'd be walking, for example, you want to enter like a castle or somewhere that has security, and then if all your assassins are trained and ready, you have them like a bar, yeah,
Right.
like ammo. You press a button and they all just completely. It's called an arrow attack.
Okay.
And they suddenly you're standing there and all the guards go. They just die. And it's
I'd love to see that in a movie.
It's the best thing I've ever seen. Like they just, it's
know what?
so badass, and he just goes.
Okay, guys, we're trailing off. We need to talk about collectibles.
Yeah.
Raz is,
But
you're
that's it.
definitely a fan.
I love Assassin's.
Raz, thank you for bringing this over. No, this is hers. We do not give this away.
Right.
But again, come to Geek Nation, ask them for it. Maybe they'll bring it for you. But what is available now at Geek Nation are these collectible items, which we'll talk about. We'll start about the statues. Now, we touched on, what's this guy's name again? I can't remember their names.
Connor? I think. No, Connor
Connor's
was
from the
3.
US.
This one, I actually don't know his name.
Wait, I'll tell you.
That's this dude.
Yeah, someone got this for me because they know I love Assassin's Creed, but I haven't
Jacob
played.
Fry.
Jacob Fry from Britain. Looks British.
So British. He wants some tea.
Okay, so what do you guys think of this? It's pretty lightweight, actually, but there's a lot of
These are
nice detail.
PVC. These are PVC.
PVC,
statues.
okay.
Yeah.
Are they collectible, by the
Yes,
way?
yes.
Or are they just in abundance
No, no,
and
no, no.
their value will never...
See, I mean,
long.
they're mass produced.
Okay,
Okay, so they're not numbered.
okay,
But what makes them good is they're mini statues. They don't take up a lot of space,
okay.
right? And they're not fragile as the other polystone
right.
statues. So and then they're they're
Let me
not
hold
very
that up for
expensive as well.
everyone.
They
And I like
average-
it has details like has a dirt because the streets of
I mean, let's see,
England
how much
like
is
are
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
How much is this one? I think this is in the 200 to 300 range.
So it's pretty affordable.
Yeah. It's affordable.
Now, will these become collectible over time? Like, let's say if you're collecting for
Depends.
investment.
Some do.
Do you
Some
think
do.
something from
But no,
Assassin's Creed
if,
would-
if you
this
if you're collecting
particular-
in terms of in terms of investing in collectibles, always go for something that's limited edition or numbered,
Right.
right?
It feels like similar to like comics.
Like
and other
comics,
pop
exactly.
culture.
So variants, etc.
What about this dude here? This is the...
This is Ezio.
Ezio. This is a little heavier, but is it the same thing? It's a bit... I think it's
Yes,
PVC
it's
as well.
PVC as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And again, this may or may not become collectible over time.
No, see what for these I will tell you. Let's say 10 years from now,
Yeah.
a sequel or a third movie comes out, right? And they build on these characters, and then people start feeling nostalgic about these,
Yeah.
and these go up in value.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how things work.
Okay, cool. What about the bus? By the way, I know also there's an Assassin's Creed comic that came out this year. I had the free comic book day issue. It had some good reviews, but I don't know what happened.
This coming out.
Yeah, I don't know how well it did. I know a couple of the issues had good reviews, so that's something also to look out for. I mean,
No, there's an actual book.
book or
Oh, I know
graphic
the books.
novel.
They're
I know about the
novels.
graphic.
There's a bunch of novels.
Yeah,
They're really
exactly.
nice. They're really nice.
Okay, so that's something people can look at as well.
This guy.
Excites you, yeah.
Everybody loves it.
So why isn't Attire making it anywhere into collectibles? since
I'm
he's-
telling you, it's
It's
easy.
and also the thing is when the first Assassin's
But that's
Creed.
politically incorrect. by not launching
like-
an
No,
ethnic
because,
too.
hold on. His name is Altair ibn La Ahad, the son of no one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Right. And then they talk about the game is basically alluding to the fact that there are higher beings on there. And
okay.
But also, like when the first game came out, there was a lot of criticism for it in terms of the fact that the missions felt very repetitive.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't-
yeah, that
It's
was
not
it,
as
yeah.
complex as the other.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when the new games, when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, it really corrected a lot of problems that were in Assassin's Creed 1, and that's why it shot up in popularity, and thus the character with it. I think that also has to play. I mean, you know, I'm Arab, but I love
plus the
Ezio.
first movie had the Crusaders and the Holy
Ah,
Crusades.
yeah. They had the Crusaders and stuff
So
like
it's a
that.
taboo
No.
topic that people don't like to talk.
All right,
The
so
villain in this one is the Pope.
that was just pretty.
It's awesome.
It's fine.
And can be controversial too.
Yeah.
That's very controversial.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
You have to kill the Pope.
Offline, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Pope.
I think. Well, okay. Before we wrap up in the next couple of minutes and start talking about the other collectibles here, so basically these action figures we can find at Geek Nation.
Yes,
right now.
these are
So
all
you
of
can
it.
come-
All the ones
everything
over
here
here.
that you see.
Yeah.
There's some Resident
Evil stuff,
yeah.
which is another movie.
Oh,
that
this
came
one
out.
I don't know if they have, but they have the bus.
This
We have the
Yeah,
bus.
What is it, bus?
The bus.
Bus version. They've got some cool Resident Evil stuff here. I think these are very interesting. These
Yeah.
action figures. I mean, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, you know.
This is based on the 60s.
By the way, do you guys? I heard rumors that Kingdom Hearts was going to come out as a film or
Yes.
something. Is that still in the works?
This one might gain value, by the way. You know why?
It's collectible.
No.
It's numbered.
No, it's not numbered. Okay, this is the series, but this is based on Ghost in the Shell
Yes.
movie.
Well, that's coming out. That's another.
Right?
Potential.
So this one may
More whitewash.
And this one, what's this other Figma figure here? So Ghost in the Shell. Look out for Ghost in the Shell. Come to Geek Nation. This is definitely going to be.
Silent Hill.
Ah, that's silent.
And I also think Silent Hill will be a collectible because it's got the same thing going on as well.
yeah.
So you can get these. You can get all these figures at Geek Nation. I kind of hid William right now. Behind all
This
these
is available as well.
What is this one?
This is Assassin's Creed Connor, based on.
This is my least favorite.
This is from Assassin's Creed 3. This
Are
is
these
not
popular characters?
Not much.
Depends on
This
the-
is the least popular. game.
Yeah, because this one is going back to the American Revolution.
People didn't
Okay.
like this. I didn't like this. I played it.
Yeah,
The
so
problem
it's
with
too
this,
modern era. Too
It's not,
American.
it's not just that. The problem what happened with Assassin's Creed 3, other than all the many problems, the biggest problem, at least for me, was that they introduced warships, like ships. And like,
It went
the cool thing
Pirates of
about
the
Assassin's
Caribbean.
Creed, what they told you, is that thing where he's stealthy, he just stands by someone and they die.
Right.
Like the least stealthy thing
Is a ship.
in the world is a giant ship that's coming towards you slowly, and then it goes boom, boom, and you're like, I have to kill. It's so bad. I didn't like it. And then it went on to Black Flag, and I stopped playing the game after Black Flag personally.
Yeah, because
I
it
tried
lost its
playing.
roots. It
Yeah,
lost its
it lost the spirit.
Ah. They also just got this one. Is the liquor from Resident
Wow,
Evil.
that's a
Oh,
really
I love
cool
this
one.
guy.
Yeah, this guy. Look at that. Look at
Oh,
that.
wow.
Tongue. Look at that tongue.
So that's what's the figure like though? Can you
It's a
say
statue.
that? Ooh,
It's this. It's this.
it's literally that.
Oh,
That's really
yeah.
cool. That looks like 12 inches as well.
R. Kelly.
We're all going to jail.
No, but
Thanks, last reviews.
this guy was seriously disgusting in part 2.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, all right, to wrap up one more time, guys, thank you so much. This was an amazing episode. Raz, thank you for coming. Guys, check out Raz Reviews.
That's Raz with double Z space reviews.
Yes,
Facebook,
on Facebook.
Instagram, and YouTube.
And Rogue One is out. Check out those
This
reviews.
morning.
I don't know who didn't see that movie yet, but if you have it, you want to check out this review first. She'll give you the lowdown, and it's going to tell you what you need to know.
It's spoiler free, no spoilers. It's just a review.
And
What?
I think we should do spoilers.
Well, I'll post once people see that, because you have to put first the non-spoiler review.
I know,
But then if people like for example, when I did Suicide Squad, people asked for a spoiler review, and I did another review that was full of spoilers.
All
So
right.
if people ask, I'll do it.
All right, well,
Yeah.
thank you, Raz, very much. First of all, your insight into Assassin's Creed, as well as you guys, was amazing. I actually feel pumped to try the game
You should
again.
definitely play
And
it.
I'm thinking of
Ezio.
collecting an action figure somewhere. But I'm going to wait for Altair. I like originals. So,
There is one.
oh, there is?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to
I-
pick that up. That's my thing. And these collectibles, again, we're at Geek Nation. We're going to thank them for having us here. Again, what is the most successful box office? What's the most successful movie in terms
What's
of box
the
office?
most financially successful movie based on a video game in terms of box office?
And you will get this. First person to answer. Deadpool, like, share, comment. You'll enter a raffle, and Deadpool is going for
Not
sure.
this one.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, William. Thank you, Nabil. Thank you, Raz. Thank you, me. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
and we'll see you next year.
Friendship is magic.